Nobody at the event seemed to have any clue that it happened. Nobody owned any. Nobody knew anything about it. Choose Rich Nick actually went live documenting the initial hours of the launch.
We're live at the crypto ball and the official Trump token just launched. People are going absolutely crazy here. Oh my God. These people are just, everyone can't even believe it. They're shocked that it's gone here. Actually, I'm one of the only people at this event that owns the token. This guy right here, he owns the token also. Thank you to Nick, send me the CA. I sent him the contract address. We've doubled our money. And apparently Trump bought Tron. What the hell is going on? Nobody here owns the token. Nobody, literally nobody, other than me and this guy. I keep trying to get people the contract address and they're like, what the hell are you talking about, bro?
And this has been confirmed. It seems close to 0 people at the crypto ball knew anything about Trump's meme coin launch. 0.
So I just got back from the crypto ball, and as you saw in the videos, literally nobody at this event was aware of the token. There were basically 5 degens at the event who knew anything about what was going on. But yeah, nobody had any idea. I couldn't get anybody to comment on it whatsoever. There were people who said they bought it 100K. And one of the guys next to me ended up making like a significant amount of money. But in general, nobody had any knowledge of this token.
In a bold and unexpected move that has taken both the political and financial worlds by storm, President-elect Donald Trump unveiled his very own meme coin. This surprising announcement was made through his personal social media channels on Truth Social and X, quickly capturing the attention of cryptocurrency enthusiasts and investors alike. The introduction of the coin, which rides the wave of Trump's influential persona, immediately ignited a buying frenzy that sent the coin's market capitalization soaring to an impressive nearly $6 billion in just a few hours. Welcome back to Investocracy Crypto.
All right, Bitcoin's bouncing today. It has been a shaky start to the year, to say the least. Our Tanae McKeel says it could be a tale of 2 crypto trades under incoming President Trump. She joins us now to explain. Hi, Tanae.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, that shakiness could definitely continue through the first quarter. That's what traders are telling me after tariff concerns dampened enthusiasm this week. Remember, crypto is, of course, one industry that stands to benefit this year from a pro-crypto White House and Congress. So Bitcoin rallied more than 45% in the month after the election. So on the tariff concerns, that's a theme that extends beyond Bitcoin, but it highlights these 2 opposing aspects of the Trump crypto trade now coming into conflict. So on one hand, the promise of better regulation that could help crypto companies versus parts of the agenda like tariffs that could strengthen the dollar but then weigh on Bitcoin price. Those 2 things have an inverse relationship and, of course, introduce risk to markets broadly. So a choppy quarter ahead before Bitcoin makes a run at a new record. But I don't want to overstate the risk long term. It's been a year today since the approval of Bitcoin ETFs, and I'm told their popularity combined with better regulation could still support a doubling in Bitcoin price this year, and that the market should feel confident that Congress is going to take up crypto issues like stablecoins and or market structure. But even there, the impacts may not be felt until the end of the year. Scott?
All right, Tanae, thanks for setting that up for us. Appreciate that, Tanae McKeel. You want to talk about that, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. We own Bitcoin, IBIT, in portfolios, and we actually are looking to add to that at some point here over the next month, increase the positioning. It's right around just under about a 1% holding. I also traded in the futures as well. And, I think what we've seen here, obviously this big run up and a nice, healthy consolidation. On one hand, I think this, in a technically bullish market, you get a pennant building the way it has, and it leads to higher highs. On the devil's advocate side, the only concern I would have here is if we get sort of a buy the rumor, sell the news from the inauguration, and we get a little bit of a shakeout of weak hands, which actually wouldn't be so bad. You shake the weak hands out, and then you make the next move higher.
I think the key thing here is a little bit of be careful what you wish for. For like 5 years, one of the biggest catalysts for bulls was that at some point we're going to get crypto ETFs. And then, of course, that day came a year ago. IBIT, BlackRock's product, became the most successful ETF launch any asset class in the history of the ETF wrapper, and got up to like 54 billion. What happened last week, though, was its first really big daily outflow. 337 million came out. I think all of the Bitcoin ETFs in total are probably negative 2 or 3 billion since middle of December. And now these are financial assets. So I don't know that they'll be much less correlated than they used to be relative to the stock market. I think on risk-off days, they'll be treated like risk assets, which is what they are. So it's great. It's democratized. Everybody could buy it. It's easy. But remember, what that means is the money comes out easily also. And that is a little bit of a change from where we were prior to these ETFs becoming as large as they have.
Would those outflows have been on long-term taxable gains? It was over a year. Would that have anything to potentially do with the outflows?
I doubt it. I doubt most of the money that came out of the stock necessarily went in precisely 1 year to the day, or 1 year and 1 day from the launch, but probably some. Okay. Look, we don't know how these things are going to trade relative to the market. All we can say now is they are now part of the mainstream market. They're in people's brokerage accounts, and that's got really great attributes to it, and it also has potentially negative attributes to it.
Meme coins have carved out a unique niche in the cryptocurrency ecosystem, characterized more by their cultural significance and viral potential rather than intrinsic economic value. Despite a degree of initial skepticism that met the emergence of the Trump coin within the seasoned crypto community, primarily due to concerns over its legitimacy, the reassurance came as the launch was officially rolled out on Trump's verified social platforms. Furthermore, Trump's prior association with CIC Digital LLC, the company spearheading the project, lent credibility to the venture. The intrigue surrounding the coin does not end here. While explicit profit details from the inaugural coin release have yet to be disclosed, it's known that Fight LLC, the entity orchestrating the market introduction, has ambitious plans. The company intends to incrementally release a total of 1 billion Trump coins over the next 3 years, indicating significant long-term strategy and investment into the meme coin's potential success.
Bitcoin up more than 40% since Donald Trump's election win in November. Many in the crypto community enthusiastic for what they hope will be a more friendly environment for crypto under Trump. Joining us right now is Ari Redboard. He is the head of legal and government affairs at TRM Labs. Good morning to you. I think we're all trying to understand what it means to have a more friendly regulatory environment and sort of how that will therefore manifest itself in some of the valuations that we're seeing, Ari.
First of all, good morning, and thank you so much for having me. There were a lot of promises made on the campaign trail, and now we're sort of slowly seeing some of those promises come to life. There's this adage in politics that the people are the policy, and over the last, really since the election, we saw several key appointments really across the cabinet, from Scott Bessent as Treasury Secretary, Paul Atkins as SEC Chair. We have now a crypto czar, or we'll have a crypto czar, David Sachs, an entrepreneur and former PayPal executive. So if the people are the policy, we're seeing people really up and down the cabinet who have been supportive of digital assets, have been supportive of innovation, AI. There's this excitement and I think sort of cadence of almost a space race where the U.S. is now in a position to keep up with the rest of the world or even surpass the rest of the world. And so far, we've seen a number of really key appointments of folks that support innovation in the digital asset space.
But I guess the question is, Ari, if you look at Bitcoin at close to $100,000 now, what happens? Meaning, how's it going to trade in the future? Do you believe it becomes some kind of true electronic currency? What happens that actually brings value to all of this?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, I mentioned the people, and the real question next is sort of what happens from a policy standpoint. We've heard a bunch of different suggestions to include a strategic Bitcoin reserve. But I think what I'm really most excited about is even beyond Bitcoin. Over the last few months, we have seen fintechs like Stripe and Cash App and others across the ecosystem use stablecoins at scale for payments, right? We're actually seeing the technology used. I think Bitcoin traditionally has been this investment mechanism or store of value, but what we're really seeing is people start to use the technology for cross-border payments, for remittances, to buy things. And I think that's when we're really going to see this ecosystem grow when we talk about digital assets. So I think on the one hand, you have Bitcoin, which has been I think this really incredible success story, and even in more bolstered by the election. But I think what we're really seeing, and I'm most excited about, is the technology being used in a meaningful way for cross-border payments and beyond.
You have a view on what Bitcoin ultimately is going to be worth? Is there an ultimately?
I don't. I think we're going to see it go significantly higher. I think things like a strategic Bitcoin reserve in the United States, and it's not just the United States. I think, when countries around the world look at the election, look at some of the campaign promises, and now look at what the Trump administration is already doing, I think we're starting to see other countries and even states. I spoke to folks from Texas recently that are looking to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So I think we're going to see it go significantly higher. But I'm definitely, I'm a former prosecutor, not a guy who's going to necessarily make predictions on the ultimate price of Bitcoin.
We should have a larger conversation about this, given your former prosecutorial role and the fact that there's a whole bunch of prosecutors who think that Bitcoin gets involved in a lot of crime. But we can discuss that another time.
Trump's newfound embrace of the cryptocurrency arena is noteworthy, marking a significant pivot from his previously well-documented skepticism towards digital currencies. This shift showcases his desire to establish himself as a leading advocate for the burgeoning crypto culture. By setting his sights on positioning America as the crypto capital of the planet, Trump's launch of the Trump coin represents just one facet of his broader ambition for widespread cryptocurrency adoption. This move not only enhances his brand, but also aims to integrate into and capitalize on the explosive growth potential of digital currencies. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
And Jeff, I was going to say, and you're not even a Bitcoin strategist, but I guess in some way you are. Welcome.
Well, thanks, Kelly. It's a pleasure.
So just walk me through a little bit of the history of how you've analyzed the price of something like Bitcoin and what gets you today to a call of 200K by year end.
2024 was all about the ETF inflows, and quite frankly, they were the best launch of any ETF in the history of the ETF market. And before 2024 and also through this year, I think it's reasonable to compare the ETF inflows to what happened with gold when you had the first gold ETF in the US, which was 2004. In that case, it took about 7 years for that market to mature. Last year, we saw pretty much half of the maturation that I've been expecting to come through in the Bitcoin ETF space. And so I expect that to continue this year. When gold went through that 7-year period, 2004 to 2011, prices multiplied by about 4 times. So that gets you to around about that $200,000 mark by the end of 2025, considering where we started at the start of last year.
All right.
And interestingly, on the ETF side, although we've had about $36 billion of inflows already to Bitcoin ETFs in a net sense, almost none of that is very long-term, long-only money. At the end of September, only 1% was that very long-term pension fund space. So that really hasn't even started yet, and that's where I'm expecting the cash to come from in 2025.
Will this endeavor elevate Trump's influence within the crypto sphere, or will it simply ride the current wave of meme coin enthusiasm? Only time will tell. For now, investors and onlookers alike remain captivated by this latest addition to the meme coin universe, eager to see what waves it might make next on the global stage. But do share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies, or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.